Welcome to the Court of Bookish Queens, podcast where mother, daughter, and intruder dive headfirst into the world of romantasy, sharing our unfiltered thoughts, bold opinions, and theories so wild they might need legal representation.
I'm Juliet. I'm the daughter, romantasy addict, and CEO of Falling for Fictional Men.
I'm Helen, the mother, trained legal counsel, and a romantasy lover, and fully here for the drama.
And I'm Melissa, the intruder, uninvited, but oh, do I have opinions. So listeners, adjust your crowns and remember, in this court, chaos isn't just welcome, it's the dress code. With that, court is now in session. Hello, listeners. Thank you so much for joining for our freak out episode. If you're enjoying all this content, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, or why not all of them? So this is a freak out episode on all things Crescent City, as we have all finished Crescent City 2 now. So overarching, we'll be talking about Crescent City 1 and Crescent City 2. There are no spoilers for Crescent City 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
we should just dive straight in.
Straight in.
Let's do it.
Melissa finished the second Crescent City book. We have lots. We have lots
Which
to talk about.
means it's not just about me, ladies. It means that we are all now caught up with all of SJM's universe, and we're at the same point. So the three of us have not read CC3, and we will be reading it together.
So
You know how
exciting.
long I've been waiting for this?
How long have
Juliet.
you been waiting?
So I finished Akatar, and we kind of finished it together, Juliet and I. And then we were told to do two of the CC books, so the first and the second book, and then jump into the full TOG series. Finish that, then we could get into CC3. So we finished Akatar together, kind of. Then we did the CC2s, and we were still kind of around the same time. And then I started TOG. And Juliet, how long did it take you to do TOG? My goodness, it's been months, and I've
It's
been
been months.
sitting waiting
It's
for.
it's actually it's been 8 or 9 months for me to finish all of Throne of Glass.
I
mean,
think so.
I finished Akatar and TOG before Juliet finished TOG. Like,
That's right.
That's how long it's taken you. Because I'm very new into romantasy. This is my first time reading any romantasy. Juliet introduced me to Akatar, and then I just consumed all the books and went into TOG and then Crescent City. And finally, we have all met at the same point.
Both of you really zoomed past me, but I plot dodged, so it's definitely my fault.
Well, I'm glad you're here now.
But ladies, we must tell the listeners, we have done this for you because we have not spoken about the end of CC2 till this very moment. This is the first time we are conversing of everything that's happened.
Just tell us all your thoughts. Just go. Like,
oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I've always loved CC. I think it's the only book that we all align on that we love Hunt. So love Hunt, love Ruhn, love Bryce, love all of them. Like, I really cannot fault a character in this series. So CC2 is so jam-packed and just lots happening. But then, of course, like all the end of SJM's books, everything starts to happen. And I knew that as soon as I got into the archives, that's when it would be bam, 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 right? And I was not wrong. But for me, I always thought, I always suspected that the worlds would converge. I always suspected that the worlds would converge at some point. But I thought it would be Throne of Glass for some reason. Maybe because I had just read it. So when Bryce goes through the gate, is it a gate? She goes through the gate and
Portal,
she's
right?
like,
It's a
a
portal.
portal,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
a portal. When
Yeah.
Bryce goes through the portal and she's like, oh, hell has grass and, this and that. And
Missed.
I'm like, oh my God, grass. It's Terracin. I'm like, oh, yeah, Rowan. I'm like, here we go. But then I read the whole, like, somebody speaking in a different language. And I thought that was so interesting because I was like, oh, of course they probably do have different languages. But then I read the whole scale thing, like, oh, he was in a suit of armor and scales. And I'm like, wait, is this maybe a parallel universe? Right? Where Hunt is not her Hunt, but he is a different Hunt. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because Hunt has that scaled uniform. And I'm like, it must be Hunt. It's Hunt. Oh no. Is he evil in this world? I was like freaking out. And then I'm like, okay, no. Then like I calmed myself down and I see that he had swirls and shadows. And I'm like, wait a second. And I had to like reread it to pick that up because I think I was just so in the moment. Like I was freaking out all over the place. Yeah, in the initial one, I didn't pick up on the shadows, but it was like this mysterious person. And then when he brought her in, it smells like bread in here. And it was like this homey, cozy vibe, which we do not get in Throne of Glass. I'm like, oh, wait a second. I'm like, hold on. Are they in the townhouse? I'm like, are they in the townhouse? I'm like, where is she? And then it's like this petite woman with angular eyes walks in, and I couldn't even think of her name. It was Amryn, but I could not for the life of me in the heat of the moment. I'm like, it's her. But I'm like, what's her name? I'm like, I think I even said it starts with an A. And then Cassian walks in, and they say like, oh, this bigger male walks in, and then Nesta walks in, and I'm like, God, they're living their happily ever after. Then it's like, okay, so you think the shock has ended. You're like, yeah, that was my shock. But oh my God, I can't even. And I'm so excited. This is what makes me so excited. In walks Feyre with the paint and whatever. We still get the same feels, but in walks Rhys, and she goes, Ruhn?
Rude? Exactly.
Dude, okay, because I knew Melissa was finishing up the book, I was like, you know what? I just finished Kingdom of Ash. Let me remind myself of the last like 11 chapters of CC2. So I'm reading it and I'm realizing so many things that I missed, and I'll
Yeah.
explain
Same
why
here.
later.
Yeah.
But like, I missed a lot. I did not pick up that she thought it was Ruhn. I did not pick that up.
Gosh. Oh no.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Really, that was to me, I would say that was to me the biggest shock value, more so than she was in the Akatar universe. Because I was like, I think I kind of suspected that she would go into another universe, but when she said Ruhn, I
What is
lost
it?
it.
What does it mean? Like, I don't get it.
I know exactly what it means. I have a theory.
Okay, I
Okay.
You
want to
don't
hear. I have a
know. You
theory
don't
too.
know. You think.
No,
Yeah.
no, I know this. I know it. I feel it deep in my bones. I will die on this hill. But okay, even prior to this, and I wish I would have made a video because it's so easy to say this in retrospect, but when Bryce is still in the archives with Hunt and Ruhn and she's saying like kind of her goodbyes, she really looks at her brother. I think it's in this moment, or if not, it's a little bit prior, and she sees his blue violet eyes, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It just sparked something in me. I was like, oh, because no one else has violet eyes except Rhys. No one else. SJN does take a lot of similarities from her characters and puts it in different books, right? But the purple eyes are exclusive to Rhys. And then Ruhn had a twinge of purple. So then fast forward when she goes, Ruhn, I'm like, of course. Of course it's Rhys. Ruhn has just been covered in like that goth sort of thing, but I don't think it's actually Rhys. What I think it is, okay, so you know how in CC2, right? when the Fae are talking about their ancestors, the Starborn, they refer to them from many, many, many like millennia ago. I think that Rhysand is the origins of the Starborn. And then Ruhn and ultimately Bryce are his descendants. Yes,
So,
that is
They're
my theory.
existing at the same time
But they're not. Who knows? Do we know that?
well, because Amryn says no one's spoken that language in I don't know how many
for
years.
15,000 years.
But isn't that swapped? Like, doesn't that mean that
Yeah, okay. Okay, look, there could be holes in my theory. I'm not saying there couldn't be, but I don't know. It just gave me a feeling of Rhysand is starborn, and that's why he has, the night, all these stars, and this light, and all of that. And Ruhn only has a glimmering of that, but they look the same. Like for her to say Ruhn, she knows what Ruhn looks like. Ruhn is not some stranger on the street to
It's
Bryce.
not, but she says that except for the skin color,
yeah.
Mhm.
they're exactly the same. The
Exactly.
same hair,
Exactly.
the same eyes, the same look. So they could be twins,
Dude, does this
right?
mean that if this ever becomes a movie or TV show, that that actor is gonna play both characters? Because that's crazy.
I just think it's I didn't think it was actually him. So, yeah, so maybe we go back to the parallel universe. Is this a parallel universe or is it back in time? I kind of took it as like back in time. Rhysand is the starborn ancestor and then Ruhn is the descendant. But who knows? Maybe
No, there's,
CC3 will
I,
find out.
I was thinking something a little bit different. You know how Reese's mother dies? Could it be that she wasn't actually dead and that she just went into a different universe and then had another kid and looked exactly like him?
How many world walkers are there?
Okay, there is one more
Mhm.
thing. As
Mhm.
far as like Reese is concerned, yeah, that's crazy that Reese and Rune look alike. But I think the more amazing thing is that now the sword and the knife are together.
Yes, that's
Yes.
true.
That is, I think, the most significant of everything.
Was that brought up in CC or in Akatar?
No,
Both.
in both, because in Akatar they talk about the legendary sword that was there and was
Oh,
somehow
yes.
lost. And
Yes,
then
yes, yes.
in CC2, earlier on in the book, the father is talking, the Autumn King, and he says something about, I think it was him, I don't remember exactly, but something about when the legendary knife and
Yeah.
this sword are united, that something happens. Do you guys remember what happens? It's like a power is formed, or there's going to be a change involved, something like that.
I don't remember. All I remember is that when Bryce is in Valaris, her knife is there, right? And then Azrael throws his dagger on the ground, so they're kind of next to each other, and then they both start glowing, don't they?
Yeah, it's like they sing or something. Well, they're reunited. So maybe it is parallel. It's not. I thought she had gone back in time for some reason. I think because also just Valaris and the whole Corinthian is set in such like there's no technology. There's none of that. I thought it was in the past, but it
Hmm.
could very well be simultaneous. But
Well,
can I say something? Oh my god! Because I've always loved Ruhn, right? And no, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but oh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it made me like Rhysand. I was like, Rhysand is rude. Oh my
that's so interesting that you like Ruhn, and I'm not saying that I don't like Ruhn, but
god. Yeah.
why do you like him so much?
Ruhn fully accepted Bryce and wanted Bryce in his life. And he always advocated for Bryce with the Autumn King. So I thought that was really noble. I really liked Ruhn for that. Ruhn values his friendships with Flynn and Declan, and you can see that really close bond. But Ruhn is also open to accepting new friendships, just like the way that Ruhn accepted Hunt into his life.
I've always liked Rune. It's just that he was a side character to me until I found out that he looks exactly like Recent. So now Ruhn, to me, is suddenly so much better looking.
It was like a mask. It's what I said, like all those piercings and things. It didn't give you the same feeling as Resand, but strip away the piercings, put on some good hair, right?
Yeah,
It's
because
exactly Resand.
Doesn't Rune have long hair?
Yeah, but it's shaved on one side,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then let's not forget, I think Resand also has long hair.
No,
Oh,
No,
he's the only one that doesn't?
no,
that's right.
Azriel and Reese don't have long hair. Cassian
Oh, okay.
unfortunately does, but I like
Okay.
brainwashed myself when I first read that.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. So cut his hair and like grow that bit out, take out the piercings, the violet eyes, the tattoos, like it all checks out.
It's pretty crazy.
So, are we just gonna not talk about Agent Day and Night?
Oh my gosh. I did not see that coming.
I don't think
Also,
anybody did.
can we just say the names? The name, like the harpy and what's the other one? That
The Hind, the Harpy, the Hellhound.
I feel like the whole thing with the hinds and the harpy just confused me because I was like, wait, which one is it? Like I actually didn't get it in the moment. So it's the hind, correct?
Yeah, so we
Which
can call
is
her Lydia.
Lydia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't see it coming, but I'd been thinking that this woman is tortured, right? So I did get a little bit upset with Ruhn for shutting her out once he figured out, because
Yeah.
he, to me, it would be like, oh, you've been suffering like this all this time, you poor thing, instead of saying, oh my God, you've done so much bad, that
See,
nothing can wash you.
Rune had that reaction. Reese would never,
Oh my
ever.
God. Juliet, as if. No, I think it's a totally justified reaction. Imagine if the person that you've only heard horrors of, literal horror stories, she's the one that killed Sophie at the beginning of the book, right? I think they're mates. So I think they're mates. Um she's the person that you've been speaking to and have fallen in love with. Like it's a shock. He's in shock. I
It's a
He's
think
in
shock.
it's
shock, but Lydia saved all of them.
yeah, but
So, I mean, I would be like, oh, wow, there's something wrong with me. And she's pleading with him in his mind. And,
mm,
Lydia saying, Ruhn,
she
Ruhn.
is. She
And,
is.
and he's kind of just like trying to shut Lydia out.
Yeah, Rune trying to shut her out is borderline unforgivable to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
What?
yeah. I said
No.
borderline. Don't
Oh my goodness.
shut
I
me
didn't think it
out.
was that big of a deal because I was like, yeah, I just feel like I would react the same way. And maybe that says something about me. But if you've only been hearing, but think about it seriously, like if you've only been hearing horror stories about this one person, and then all of a sudden you're on Tinder, Hinge, whatever these apps are, right? And you've been messaging with this guy, and all of a sudden this guy turns out to be Ted Bundy, you
Wait,
know?
wait, wait. They haven't just been messaging, my dear. He has tasted her. He's tasted
Agreed.
her very, very nicely.
Because it's all through the mind. So has he actually? Mm.
Yeah, that they
Well,
crossed a
it seemed
line.
real to me.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's a justified reaction. I'm
You
not
know,
just gonna forget that.
I think that the two of you may be more, what is that test they do, the ENFJ, whatever kind of things?
Yeah.
You guys are
Myers-Briggs.
both must be the judge type, where I'm actually not. So to me, I'm like, if that happened to me and I have the ability to mentally talk with her, then I would ask her, like, what's going on? What is it? What is this big secret that you've been
Yeah.
keeping? Are you such a monster to everybody?
Yeah.
And that's not how I see it. But instead, he shuts her out.
Look, okay, just stay with me, okay? I think that Lydia is Rhys in the first ACOTAR book because she has an image to uphold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks she's a bad guy. And when Ruhn ends up finding out, like who Lydia is and whatever, it's shocking. He runs to the cabin type of energy, like flees, shuts her out, has to get away.
But guys, I'm so sad. I'm so sad for the whole thing. The entire ending makes me very anxious. And I have been anxious for like 8 or 9 months now. What I'm nervous about is that it's not even the last book. I was under the understanding that CC3 is the last book.
It can't
Now I
be.
hear that it's not.
Yeah,
So
it can't be.
I'm and then with all the theories about SJM and what she wants to do with this is driving me mad.
I don't know anything about CC3. Do we think CC3 will be based partly in the CC world and also Valaris Perinthian? Or like whose point of view? Because Bryce is gone.
Well, look, I think in the beginning of CC3, it has to be her in Valaris, right? Because it's just a continuation.
Without knowing anything else, what I predict will happen, and I really have no idea. My prediction is that she will go back partly with some of them, some of the characters
Oh,
in
it be
uh,
so.
yeah,
Oh my god.
from Akatar. So at
Please,
least one of
please,
them.
by God, let it be Cassian, please.
So my theory is that they're gonna help her because she's asking for help,
Yeah,
right?
I think they'll help her, but
Okay,
to
but
go
but
back with her.
yeah. I think at least one of them will. I think some of them might, but I don't know. But what I want to talk about is actually Danica. I don't understand how she is such a huge figure in these books. I mean, she everything is around Danica. It's a little annoying to me. Are you guys
Yeah,
annoyed by Danica?
I think she's a bad friend, you know? Just because Bryce loved her so much, and it just feels like Danica had so many secrets.
Exactly.
But I
So
feel
I'm
like we
so
don't
annoyed.
know. I feel like we don't know Danica's point of view either, like why she kept them. Because aside from being a friend, she was the alpha of her pack. She had a lot of responsibility. And I feel like she was working towards, a greater good. So she had to keep a lot very, very in. But it is strange. Like even the whole mate thing, like her not
Yeah,
telling
exactly.
Danica not telling Bryce.
And what's his name? Bakshin?
Wait, but isn't he also the Hellhound? We can just call him the Hellhound. Isn't he
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same?
It's
Yeah.
better to yeah. I'd rather call him the Hound. That entire storyline is very annoying to me. It's not annoying to you guys.
Oh, so what specifically?
Every other thing that they find out, it's some stupid thing that Danica has done.
Yeah. Mm,
Like she's just intertwined in the story
She's so intertwined,
and
and
wasn't truthful to Bryce.
it's almost like a joke that, oh, something happens, oh, it's because Danica must have done this, and Bryce going, no, it's like a
yeah.
joke. And the bright hand, is that what he's called, the Asteri that talks to
Regulus.
them? He basically lays everything out. I'm annoyed at him and everybody else. That whole concept of them conquering the worlds and eating people's souls or powers,
That was,
it's crazy. Why would he tell her all of this? Like, he comes clean with everything, but
yeah.
he's not going to kill her because he needs her.
Well, why does he
He
need
needs
her?
her to open the gates.
Well,
Well, I,
I'm sure that the Asteri will just kill Bryce and anyone he's telling. They're just gonna kill them after. What's the point of not telling them if they're just gonna die?
I think it's just to further the plot. I think
Yeah,
it's
it
to further the
is.
plot.
See, both of these books have been so filled with stuff that, I mean, you can't really not read a chapter. And these are much thicker books than either ACOTAR or the Throne of Glass series. And then to get to the end of the second book and everything is revealed by the Asteri, and it's bombshell after bombshell, uh, it makes me, I don't know, uneasy. You guys don't get that feeling.
I don't know. I'm just like here for the ride. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I wasn't annoyed by it. I was just like, I thought it was just to further the plot, and I wanted to know too. So I was glad they said it.
Yeah, I don't remember being annoyed the first time I read it, but I think I was doing it so quickly because I was anxious. But on the rereading, I'm a little bit more annoyed than I was the first time.
I wasn't annoyed, but with the way that CC2 ended, I was very unwell because of Hunt. Like I couldn't think,
Yes.
okay, I'll explain my reading the first time of CC2, okay? Because I was super enjoying the book. Didn't like the beginning because I was like, who's Sophie? Why do I care? And then we get like all the way to the end, and Hunt gets the tattoo halo back on him.
Oh,
I was physically unwell. I was so not okay. So this is what I did, right? Because that chapter is right before the last chapter where Bryce goes to Prithian, right? I was like, well, why do I care? I don't care anymore. So this is what I did. I skimmed. I skimmed the last chapter. And then I get to the end and I'm like, wait, what? Resend? What? Who's what? What's going on? So I went back and read it, but I clearly didn't read it right because I missed the Ruhn thing. I missed so many other things. I missed the
my
swords.
God.
I didn't. I was like, why do I care about these swords? So I didn't like. I was like, I was just
Okay.
Hunt messed me up. Hunt messed me up. I was so unwell. I couldn't pay attention to anything after, and I should have taken a break the way I did with Kingdom of Ash in the last
Yeah.
few pages, but it's too late now.
I feel like we've jumped around a lot because something I think we need to speak about as well is like you brought it up, Hunt having the tattoo again on his forehead, but who betrayed them?
Celestina, right? But didn't she do it to cover up for her lover?
Ataxia.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
reason?
but not to cover up for her.
Yeah, she was protecting her. That's what the book said. But I don't think anybody actually did. What I really think is that they've known all along. The Asteri, this is what I got on the reread, that
Yeah.
everything that happened from almost the beginning of the book was so that they would get to her at the end. They brought all of these things into it just for that. They've
Hmm.
known all along.
Yeah.
It was their plan.
Also, like the whole Celestina thing, protecting Hypaxia. Like, what did Hypaxia do? She actually didn't do anything. She wasn't implicated in any which way or form. And maybe Celestina just knew the whole time. So she's just overarchingly doing the Astri's bidding, right? To protect her loved one. And that's why she says, love is a curse. It chains you. But she, oh, I hate her. I hate her because the worst thing you can do is pass off as like this gentle, kind, loving soul that sure I'm your superior, your manager, but I want to be your friend. And then stab them in the back. Like hate her. And maybe this adds to it because I had hope for Ruhn and Hypaxia. I was like, oh, it'll be cute. Like he's a prince, she's a queen. Like it's cute. I love it, right? But then when I saw that Hypaxia was with Celestina, I was like, oh, she stepped in on them. She didn't. I know she didn't. But I don't like Celestina. Oh, I hate her.
Okay,
More
I
than
have to say
Micah?
something over here. Micah. Um, okay, we have to remember something over here. Every character that we meet that's nasty or close to nasty or hiddenly nasty, it doesn't matter. We have to remember that all of these people are slaves. They're all slaves. They're all under the thumbs of the Asteri. Many people know it, and even those in power, the archangels, they uh, are the most powerful. But even they are under the thumbs of the Asteri. So
Yes.
whatever they do, there is an excuse to it. I don't know how I would act if I was under the thumb of someone and I was trying to protect the people that I love.
Yeah, that's valid. That's a valid point. Yeah. They are slaves. And the whole second light thing will then feeding off of the first light and then the second light and how they've gone to so many worlds. They've gone to so many. Does this mean SJM has like other stories in other worlds she hasn't even shown us yet? Like, who knows? But that was crazy.
And not just crazy, but as evil as you could possibly get. They destroyed worlds because
Mhm.
they didn't have a use for them, or ate all the children in some of the worlds. I mean, these are, you can't get more evil than this.
I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for the third book. I don't know. Is it going to be like ACOTAR? Like, are we going to get those characters in a lot of the chapters? Is it just going to be a glimpse? You know,
Dude,
what's going to
what?
happen to Ruhn and Hunt?
True. What if, and this probably won't happen, but what if, like, a Throne of Glass character somehow pops in the middle of CC3? Like, we don't know.
I think there's going to be some kind of war of the worlds. That's what I think is going to happen, because there are all kinds of worlds that are caught up in all of this. But the Asteri
Yeah.
has destroyed so many and is the enemy of, and hell is going to come into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we have
and
this, like, common enemy now that we know is affecting potentially even Prithian and, uh, what's Throne of Glass World? What's it called?
I don't remember.
Or, like, it's like Aralea or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, there is one
Okay.
more thing. Dusk. Did you guys pick it up at the end
Oh,
of
yes.
CC2?
Yeah.
They had different rooms, and one of them was dusk, and that's why they were talking about that there's a world that is always at dusk. And now I remembered that in ACOTAR, there's a dusk court that has ceased to exist, right?
Oh.
Right. And people talk about the dusk court that is no longer.
You're right.
So,
But do we know
yeah.
why it's no longer in ACOTAR?
No, no, we don't.
Oh, I don't.
Dude, she is a genius.
She
Oh
is a
my God, what a
genius.
SJM,
mastermind. What a
SJM has
mastermind.
thought everything out. Like, I'm sure there's gonna be like at least five more different series. Like, just
Will he be here for all of them?
I'm eating it all up.
So, ladies, we are all starting Crescent City 3. How exciting. So, listeners, if you want to read with us, please follow along in our journey. We will be telling you what chapters we will be reading. And yeah, we can all be part of this together. So, with that, court is now adjourned.